What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Unboxing of Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could also hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we release new content, that would be appreciated also. So this episode is a bit of a combination between Unboxing of Vinyl and my Inside the Vinyl Lost Classic series. And in this case, it will also be my first reboot. I figure Hollywood doesn't seem to have any original ideas anymore, and they reboot every movie and TV show on the planet. So why can't I reboot a show that I've previously done? So today, once again, I'm going to feature a Aerosmith album called In The Ruts. So this album was I think it was their sixth studio album, if I'm not mistaken. It came out in 1979, November 16th, 1979, as a matter of fact. It was recorded mid-1979, in between there were studio and touring and everything else. It was released on Columbia Records. It was produced by Gary Lyons and Aerosmith. It reached number 14 on the Billboard charts and has been certified platinum for sales over 1 million by the Record Industry Association of America. So, the reason I'm doing a reboot and doing another episode on this particular album is because this is the copy that I had that I did the original show on. So you can see, if you look at the back here, there's a little bit of wear and tear at the bottom and all that. And this one was kind of neat because, if I'm not mistaken, I think it had it had, the sleeve inside with the order forms and all that kind of stuff, which you could order t-shirts and the previous albums and all that. Really cool stuff. But like I said, there's a little bit of wear and tear on it, which wouldn't have bothered me too much. The album is in great shape and plays really well. However, just the other day, I was in one of my local record stores and I came across a brand new, still in shrink wrap, what appears to be original edition. Same numbers and everything on the back of In The Ruts. Again, still in shrink wrap, completely sealed. No damage on the cover or anything that I can see. So this is actually one of my favorite Aerosmith albums, so I couldn't pass up the chance to have one that was still sealed. Original release. I figured, like I said, Hollywood can reboot things. Why can't I? So let's go ahead and open this up and see, if this still has all of the original stuff inside that this one does. I would imagine it does, but we'll check. All right. And plus, I just love, I love knowing that a record, or knowing that I have a record that's been sitting around for upwards of 40 years without ever being opened, without ever being played. And of course, I buy records to listen to. I mean, I do collect, but I also buy my records to listen to. So if I find one that's still sealed, unless it's something that's worth like $1 billion, which this is not, the seal is coming off. This particular sealed version only cost me $15. So, it's not like a big, it's not a big valuable record, but it's valuable to me. Because again, this is one of my favorite Aerosmith records. So, there it is out of the shrink wrap. Very much, same cover, everything as the other one. So there's the front cover, In The Ruts. Here is the back cover, showing that maybe the album should have been called Writin' Nuts, but due to censorship and things at the time, I guess they went with the In The Ruts album title. I don't know if that's true, but all right. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Yes, it looks like this is definitely an OG copy, because here we have, once again, just like the other one, we have the order form for the albums and the shirts and everything. But again, this sleeve has never been opened, have never been messed with, even though there's a little fold in the corner over here. The one in my other record, in addition to the tear to the actual outside cover, the inner sleeve has torn some too. The record kind of pokes through the sides and everything. But this one is brand new, never been opened. Again, there's the order form. All right, if we go ahead and pop the record out here. Again, nothing really any different than the other one, except for this one's never been played. So there's your standard Columbia Records inside sticker, as they would have on pretty much any record released from Columbia at the time, with the band name as well as the track listing. All right. So again, I know some people will probably watch this and think that's really stupid. Why would you buy an album you already have? But for me, sometimes when I have the opportunity to One of my favorite albums to actually get one that has, never been opened, never been played, never been anything. It's kind of hard to pass up the chance. All right, let me see if I can get this in here without tearing anything up. All right. So there we go. Night in the Ruts. Sealed, never been opened. I mean, there is a little bit of corner damage up here. But again, it's been sitting around for upwards of, 40 years. So there's bound to be some damage from being moved and stacked and restacked and moved and whatever else. So there you have it. So let's talk about this album a little bit. And I don't remember my previous video, what I went over. It's probably the same stuff. But I will say the reviews on this album are very mixed. Not only amongst critics, but also amongst Aerosmith fans. When people talk about their top, 4 or 5 Aerosmith albums, this album rarely ever makes the cut. However, for me, this is a top 5 Aerosmith record. It is one of my favorites, always has been. So at the time, the band was in really bad shape. The drugs were rampant, money was tight and everything else. They weren't getting along. And actually, Joe Perry actually left during the making of this record and was replaced by a gentleman named Jimmy Crespo. Although, according to the credits, the only thing Jimmy Crespo did on this particular album was the solo on a song called 3 Mile Smile. So Joe Perry played, a majority of his guitar parts before he left the band. And then, of course, Brad Whitford was there to, play guitar as well. And I remember reading in the Aerosmith biography, Walk This Way, something to the effect of, things are in bad shape when you're making an album with 9 songs and 3 of those songs are covers. So take that for what it is. When I first bought the album, I didn't know they were covers. I didn't know those, the originals of these particular songs very well. So to me, this was just an Aerosmith record I had never heard when I had gotten into the band in my, my early teens in the late 80s. So some of the highlights from this album, right off the bat, the first track, No Surprise. It is as classic Aerosmith as Aerosmith gets. Witty lyrics, just a song that just rocks, good chorus, everything about it. Tells the story of the band from how they started to, how they got to where they are. Awesome song. Followed right by a song called Chiquita. I love the song. There's some really cool horns and stuff that get played on it. Definitely very heroin soaked, if you ask me. Then it goes into the first cover, which is a song called Remember Walking in the Sand, which some of you may know from their Greatest Hits album. It's a cover of an old Shangri-La song. I like the song. It's not my favorite on the record, but it's cool. Probably my least favorite song on the record, or one of my least favorite songs on the record. Then it goes into Cheesecake, which I just love. Cheesecake is just a cool ass song. And then we go to side 2. It starts off with 3 Mile Smile, sort of a combination song with a cover of a Jazz Gillum song called Reefer Head Woman. But definitely a nice 1-2 punch. They played it that way when they played it on this tour and the Rockin' a Hard Place tour, which you can hear on the Classics Live 1 record. But yeah, 3 Mile Smile, I think it talks about the 3 Mile Island, like the radioactive, the nuclear spill or nuclear, whatever it was. I'll put a correction down below for whatever that is, but just a really cool song. I think it's a really cool song. Bone to Bone, Coney Island Whitefish Boy, which, according to the same book that I mentioned earlier, Coney Island Whitefish, I guess, is a used rubber. So, that's always fun. Then it goes into a song called Think About It, which is a Yardbirds cover. Now, again, I wasn't real familiar with the Yardbirds when I first got this particular album. So I just thought that was a really cool song. And I'm still not really familiar with the Yardbirds version, but the Aerosmith version on this album is really cool. And then the last song on the album is a song called Mia, which Steven Tyler wrote about his baby daughter at the time. Kind of a dark song, dark, slow song, but it's really cool. I actually think it's really cool. It's a really sweet, it's a really sweet sentiment to the song. So, like I said, this is a top 5 Aerosmith album for me. I mean, it literally goes for me. Rocks is number 1. Pump's probably number 2. Rockin' a Hard Place number 3. This number 4. And probably Get Your Wings, somewhere in that top 5. And again, that's just a top 5 for me. I know everybody's going to be like, where's Toys in the Attic? Sorry, Toys in the Attic's not one of my top 5 favorite Aerosmith records. It's a good record. I think half of it's good and half of it's so-so. It is what it is. I like every song on this record, even the aforementioned Remember Walking in the Sand. It's probably my least favorite song on the record, but I still like the song and I don't skip past it when I'm listening to this record, whether it's on vinyl, digital, CD, whatever. So this is available in pretty much every format. Again, I know Columbia reissued the vinyls. You might be able to find some of those. It's not hard to find this album in used record stores. If you want one, hit me up in hit me up in the comments down below. I'll throw you, my old one. You can find it on iTunes. I think there's even mastered for iTunes on there. And who knows, maybe somewhere soon, they'll reissue, deluxe editions or whatever of all their old albums again. I don't know. But again, Night in the Ruts, you might not be familiar with it if you're a casual Aerosmith fan or if you're just a fan of the hits. But check this out, really, really good rock by a really, really messed up band. So check that out. You won't be disappointed. That's all I've got for you this time. Again, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below. Hit that notification bell. I've got some other things out there. I've got the rest of my Unboxing the Vinyl series where we open up new vinyls, reissues, box sets, whatever. Sometimes it's box sets or even CDs, depending on what's coming out. I've also got my Inside the Vinyl series where we talk about live albums and lost classics. I've got some old concert footage out there from some festivals. Welcome to Rockville, Exit 111, Kiss concerts, whatever. And last but not least, if you're into disc golf, I've got some very mediocre disc golf videos starring some very mediocre players. Excuse me. Myself included. So again, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.